sort of a game plan, and it's maybe working out.
Yeah, that's quite true actually. Yeah, you could be right there. So Greece is out first. They're going towards South George, North George, Gatka, West Coast, and looks like around sort of Pubg maybe. I feel like that might be the area that they're heading towards.
It looks like the two teams are sort of letting each other have their loot. You know, there's not really any. Maybe Kowo is gonna sneak in and.
What is he doing? He's
off. I would expect he's gonna come try and maybe around the farm area.
He's playing pubs.
He's going beyond Pubg. Imagine if he just goes in and just like 1v8s.
Yeah, I mean, he is hot dropping it right now.
He might be trying to steal a car. Is the only thought I can think of.
Maybe. I mean, this isn't competitive settings. This isn't esports mode, is it?
I'm not 100%. I think it's esports mode, but not esports settings.
Maybe he's trying to go for the car, but then realize, oh, there's no car here. That's awkward. Yeah.
There is a car there.
Okay. I mean, it's
that's not
that's not the spawn, though.
Yeah.
No, that's not the spawn. But he's lucky enough to get the car there. Otherwise, he'd be
he's getting shot at. He's got no helmet and no vest, obviously. So like 2 bullets will put him down. You should be able to escape.
Maybe this is like some sort of a plan. I think possibly maybe Greece and Germany have kind of like spoken and said like, right, okay, you guys can have the first part. You know, like the first part of the plane, we can have the second part. But maybe Kowo's essentially said like, look, I'll steal their like one of their vehicles or something to just mess them up slightly.
We have one, well, technically 2, but 1 person properly in this circle. Rax on his lonesome in Severny.
Yeah, fair enough.
I wonder if maybe Germany are going to use the fact that they have that information, that it's clear, and try and maybe push in early and take over the center of this map.
Yeah, that would make sense. It was a northern plane, but then again, I mean, we've seen planes be on the south and then shift. The first circle was like north of North George for some strange reason. So the plane path isn't really connected to the circle on these settings anyway. So he was right to go Severny because it is free, but at the same time, I don't think he predicted this.
No, I mean now all these German players can use this entire recent side. They know it's free because obviously he would have been looking around, being the competitive player he is. I think pretty much everyone that has competitive experience now, the first thing they do when they're dropping it is look around for like 30 seconds when they're in the sky. So he should know that, as we see, Mike is going all the way up to shooting range, and Payne's coming to join them. So they should know the entire center of the map's now clear. Or center of the circle, rather. And I expect we're going to see them set up maybe sort of the aeroplane. There's a position that in this is really strong, I think, and maybe even the compound sort of just to the northwest of Rostock.
Yeah, that would make sense. That would make a lot of sense, actually. Yeah, if you spread across, I mean, we've seen the fight. I forget who it was against, but it was Turkey versus somebody else.
No, Hungary, wasn't it?
Hungary, that's one. Yeah, and it was all across this sort of this plain the plain hill, and that was super interesting to watch. So I imagine they might try and set up for the same kind of fight, but maybe control it a bit better than Hungary did.
Yeah, given we have this eastern and western sort of divide, the two teams should know that where one of the teams is going to come from. All the Greek players really are going to be coming in west of Rostock. Almost went very wrong there.
Yeah,
but because of that, the German players can, if they can get enough map control on their center of the map, they can sort of create a bit of an impenetrable wall and force the Greek players to be sort of stuck on the edge of the map.
Yeah, exactly. But looks like they're moving in. 3 players from Greece are inside the circle now, so that's something at least. They're on the western side, as you can see, and that is underwater. But they're just chilling, looting, as they do, as anyone really does. As you play this game, you loot, and then you get into the circle, and see what you can sort of find in terms of information. They do have a lot of information already in terms of the German team. So
I'm quite surprised they didn't try to maybe push a bit further west, given the fact that they know none of the Greek players are in this circle when they were dropping. So maybe they're giving a bit too much away to the Greek team, but I can sort of understand the lack of desire to spread out, because if you get a bit of like an 8-man death stack come in, and you're spread out whilst the rest of your team's looting down sort of towards that military area, then there's a potential you could lose some players uncontested. But they're sort of giving the Greeks free reign, and now I expect Greece is going to sort of center up around Mobsy and use the plane and those southern compounds to get some map control. Yeah,
that would make sense. Yeah, you're kind of right in a sense. I'm surprised they didn't really, I guess, spread or take more control or deny space from Greece, because they had the first advantage in terms of being there. So yeah, it is quite surprising to say that they haven't really taken much ground. But yeah, Greece still flooding into the western southwestern side of the circle, And in fact, I mean, there's a lot more Greek players moving in now compared to German players. You see, actually, a lot of the G2 players still around farm. That's their normal loot spot to where they usually are. So that's quite interesting to see. They're going back to that. But,
yeah, there's sort of a centralization around Severny going on for the German team, which is I mean, the whole problem with that area for me is that there's a lot of low ground. And when you're in the Severny area, all this big hill just to the south of shooting range has so much vision on it, and you can really use that to sort of pin the Germans in. So I want to see them moving a bit further southwest. We see sort of Itzkris now, and the group sort of just to the south of Severny is starting to progress up the hill, but maybe it's a little bit too late.
Yeah, you could be right there. Yeah, there's a lot of control from the Greece side in terms of on the west, and this hill, as you can see on your screen here, lots and lots of blue and white, and they're pushing further north, it seems, to try and get control of this compound just below our camera here. And,
yeah, I expect they're trying to sort of present like an entire wall across the map, because obviously there's a potential that it could go west, and if they can sort of create a big line, create a sort of a front line, I suppose we can put it, then it actually looks like they're trying to sort of clear out the north. There's a big group of players around Pains just to his south. Yeah,
Pains. Speaking of Pains, he wants to go and get that crate, but it might be kind of risky because you've got Gecko and Pullman looking over towards it, and
they might. They spotted him.
Yeah, I mean, they'll definitely spot him when the boat's there for sure. The circle does shift, and it goes. I mean, it's pretty much
really favouring anyone.
Yeah, no, it doesn't favour anyone at all. To be honest with you, I mean, yeah, no one at all. Yeah, look, they spotted it.
I like this setup. There's the opportunity you could blow up a boat and sort of force him to stay in the blue, but it looks like they want to set up, try and guarantee the point.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that a flare gunner?
Oh, there we go. That instantly killed. So that's that crate stuff gone. There's no getting that, unless you swim out there. But
and that's first blood as well.
Yeah. So
I like what Greece are doing here. They've got sort of a concave going on. It's something that, like in real-time strategies, like in StarCraft, there's this. Concaves are the way you do the most damage because you have the most angles to shoot someone from. And it's a strategy that in something like this is basically a real-time strategy combined with an FPS.
Yeah.
So they're going for that sort of the RTS strategy of creating this concave, forcing all the German players into the middle, and then all that cover in the center of the map, if you can get a proper concave working, just becomes useless.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty impressive to see that the sort of the setup from Greece. Germany do have somewhat of a line of defense as well, sort of center east of the circle. So I feel like Germany has a bit more control, but then again, I mean, you can't really take control of the western shooting range area because it's pretty open and there's only a few dips, not much in terms of cover.
Yeah, that's where the big high ground for the Greek team is really coming into advantage and preventing Germany from getting anywhere close. But I expect maybe we'll see the players south of the shooting range for Germany start to sort of progress a little bit west. Perhaps not on this circle, but on the next one. I think we should see a big engagement on this hill.
Yeah, I think you could be right there. I want to see some kind of push come out on the southern side and possibly even sort of force the fight up to the hills here. Circle is shifting in. It's coming in pretty fast as well. So momentarily we'll see where the next one goes. Boom. Yeah, I mean nothing really crazy there.
Not favouring anyone. But the Greek team now, it doesn't have that much control. They have a lot of vision on the centre of the map, but as we're speaking, you can't really play in that area. So I expect maybe we'll see them try and fully take control of the high ground. Given how split up this German team is, you have, I think, more than half the team up in that north side. So if Greece can focus on the hill, on the south, and make this big concerted push, which we see, that is a ridiculously stacked crate.
All right.
But we see that like the whole Greek roster is starting to swing south. You see there's this big movement on the southern side. It's like watching a weather pattern with clouds moving in.
Isn't it? It's like a storm's coming and it's blue and white. But they're all congregating on top of the hill here.
It looks like the Germans are responding. A lot of the players on the north are starting to wrap around as well. So I think we're going to see a big fight on this hill now, and probably the fight for the win in map 1.
Yeah, exactly. We'll wait and see if this turns out to be the fight. I'm sure it will be. They're actually pushing around just further, even more south as well. You've got Givit, who's kind of leading the charge just much further south.
Yeah, but the attack's been spotted now, so I think the German roster is wising up to this big push that's happening. The entire Greek roster is now on this southern hill. Givit's trying to get a bit of an off angle, but really it's all about who can go those initial knocks. Germany on the defensive. I expect that they're potentially going to get a few knocks, but not be able to flush them out. Whereas the Greek team needs to start getting those initial knocks in, and then start collapsing on it. Yeah,
exactly. And you see attacked Kygod. He's just off to the east. He's trying to watch the backside, which is smart. He's trying to watch any sort of flank coming around the south and southeast.
There's 31 Greek players right here, within probably 300 meters of each other. Gecko's on his own up at the top, potentially watching for a flank, but everyone else is just in this death stack, just pushing towards the Germans. And there's only so much this German team can do now. I think at this point, everyone is going to come join in the south.
Yeah, it's going to be absolute mad cluster up on the south hill. Circle again, it's going to shift. We'll see if this goes north. Okay, right. Well, that's actually kind of interesting.
The crash is coming in on the south. Yanis's compound's getting hit now.
Oh, here we go.
I think this is Brexco, I presume.
Yeah. Looks like it.
This
oh, my lord.
A flood, and actually Chipson takes down his own teammate.
Oh, that's not what you want, that's for sure. Yanis, he's in the compound here. He's hearing all of these gunshots around him, and they're not friendly, that's for sure.
If he stands up, he's going to find multiple people through the window. Gets the initial knock just about, but he can't get anything in return. And all the Greek players are starting to get kills. 4 Germans go down with no reply.
My lord, Greece.
Nate's everywhere.
They're in the buildings. Well. Yeah.
See you later, Yanis.
Yeah, he's flushed out. There's no chance.
I love this move by Greece. They sort of grouped up, and all these German players now towards the shooting area, the shooting range, are just completely useless. And that massive player advantage for Greece, despite the fact that some of them are getting knocked, just means that they can flood it and basically just trade their way to the win. Yeah. So we now see it's a 6-player advantage, and I think there are a few extra Germans knocked. Yes, who's in a bit of a rough spot here.
I think you'd be right. Yeah, it's obviously 24 for Germany, Greece on 30 players alive still. As you said, a few knocked, so it doesn't really count. I mean, guess who's knocked as well?
And it should be flushed out by that nade as well. So. That kill go back the way of Germany, but it's still 29 to 23, so that 6-player advantage is being maintained for now.
Yeah, exactly. But Germany still have majority control of the circle, and it looks like they're trying to push in a sort of like a concave effect, as you said. Like the concave pushing around. Looks like Greece have realized this, and they're trying to sort of spread out in terms of a line again.
And the problem for that Greek position is they're right at the bottom of the hill. So now the German players have all that high ground, and it sort of becomes a bit of a risky push. I mean, they don't really have a choice because all these Greek players are now outside the circle, but they're getting these flanks on, and Sane goes down. So potentially finding their angles in. Obviously, Sane was outside the circle, but if they can maybe wrap to the north, they can try and come behind the front line of the Germans.
Yep, Greece up by 28 at the moment. And Havana just trying to pop off some shots, gets flanked by Quiet, and that's him going down as well. So it looks really rough for the Germans here. They're 10 down now.
They found that push onto the compound, got the player advantage, and now it's just all about Germany trying to find a way to out-trade. And it's just really not coming out. You see a couple Germans getting some kills, so 28 to 19, but it's still massively in the favour of the Greeks.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, it seems like once one German gets a kill, they just get found by multiple other Greek members, and that's just essentially numbers. That's just pure numbers working in Greeks' favour.
Yeah, but you see the Greek players are staying relatively compact. Yeah. There's 3-4 people peeking the same guy, whereas the German team's starting to get spread out, starting to get separated, and just being picked off one by one.
Yeah, massive number advantage in terms of Greek side. Siki Beast is pushing in. He's got 2. Can he find some more? There's a whole lot in front of him too.
And that's a nice circle if you're Greece. Yeah. You don't need to make any desperate play. They're just finding these players that can't quite escape, and now it's all Greek, all blue and white in the kill feed. 14-player advantage. Someone needs to go off if the Germans are going to have any chance of winning this one.
I mean, it's such a tall order. I think we've got like is it Prone Malone just like proning literally in between the whole Greek team. And I'm not sure what kind of play he's trying to make, but he needs to do it now, that's for sure.
Yeah, the problem now is everyone on this German roster needs to start doing a 2 or 3 to 1 trade if they want to bring this back. And we see just individual German players are just getting picked off one by one as they get separated. I think, is that Nelos? 32nd PC?
Yes, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Nelos. So he just sort of gets completely separated from the rest of the Germans. And now it's all about just cleaning up. Hackajak with an angle onto a bunch of Greeks, but there's just 5 people shooting at him. Can't do anything about it. 24 to 4. I think we can pretty safely say this is a Greek game 1.
Yeah, Low Malone, I'm not sure. I mean, he's actually disconnected, I think. So that was, I think he maybe crashed. So many players around there, so I don't really blame him, honestly. the PC is struggling, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the FPS must be horrible for that Greek death stack, but it's working out in it.
Oh, yeah.
With the flood on Sudi here.
Look at this. Sudi's like, oh.
That's not even Sudi, man.
Yeah, he's
punched him to death.
Punched out.
Love to see it.
Yeah.
Borik's on his own. This would be the greatest clutch of Pubg history if you can pull off. He's got the initial knock, but
imagine.
Normally when you get the initial knock, you've only got 3 other people. Instead, he's got the Panzer out.
Yeah.
He was looking for it. He's got 2. It's like a zombie game now where they're all just running with their Panzers out.
Yeah,
see how many there are. They're all over the place.
He's coming. Yeah. That's
There's only so many bullets he has.
Ooh, the flying pan. He's doing work.
He's doing
but obviously, they're trying to just pan him.
Charging him.
It's hilarious. Run!
I think he's running out of bullets as well. The car comes in.
Oh no!
They're all just trying to get that belly in. He's only got 30 bullets left.
Oh, this is an
they're nading each other. They're panning each other. He's got nothing left, and he goes down to the punch. Chinjay with the last kill, 23-0 in the favour of Greece. A big game 1.